SpookyRice is back and I'm not going anywhere. I'm tired of them damn absences. Hey, they copyright claimed this video. Said they gonna take the money. Not if I use Spider-Man copyrighted music, buddy. If I'm broke, you're broke too. I want to thank y'all for waiting. As you know, I've been taking care of my moms. I've been trying to finish this semester of school. But seriously, thanks for waiting. Let's enjoy our time today and get on with the official video. Feed is directed by Brett Leonard and it's about an off-duty cybercrime investigator trying to find evidence that a website based on feederism is actually hosting illegal dead pools. I mean, yeah, the fetish is weird enough. That's what the movie is about on the surface. But beneath those faces is trauma that extends to childhood. Anyway, that's the gist of Feed, but before we get started, I want to say this. I'm uploading multiple videos today, but there are some videos I could only upload on BitChute because of copyright. Many of you have seen these videos, but if you haven't, then the link is in the description. Mother's Day for one. If you haven't seen that one already, check it out. And Dumplings. Both really interesting films about older ladies that are out of pocket. Are you ready to eat? If you want to see what happens, including all the messed up parts, stay tuned for the breakdown. Cue the Gohan. Feed begins with a guy just going to McDonald's for that big smoke order. He isn't eating all them calories himself. He has a massively obese woman named Deirdre sitting in a bed in one of his properties. Big smoke order going right down the gullet. I don't want to show it too much because she got her titties all out, and you know how YouTube feel about breasts for some reason. Like, come on. Meanwhile, in Germany, Philip is a cybersecurity agent who has found the location of a sick individual. Philip is usually a desk jockey, but he wants to see the crime this time. And oh boy, what he sees is enough to scar you. Two guys eating the severed glizzy of the guy on the left. He screams that this was his choice. Look at Armin right there, smiling about it. That was in Germany, but Deirdre and her partner, Michael, are in the United States. She weighs over 600 pounds too. Philip himself is from Australia, and his girlfriend has been waiting on him, but the first thing they do is argue. They seem to have an open relationship, but I don't know. I think maybe they should sit down and have a talk. He's much more focused on investigating very extreme fetish practitioners. Him and his goofy partner have a weird website search montage. Just back and forth banter between geeks looking at possibly horrific content. He finds a fat fetish chat room where some of the chats imply that women are dying after they gain enough weight. It was really cool how Philip baits them with a question asking the site name. Everybody logged off immediately, but he uses an IP tracer to figure out where the site is or whatever. I'm a cybersecurity major, by the way. I bet y'all thought it was film because I talked about films. Deirdre and her partner Michael own the feeder site, and he has a protected cyber presence. He actually locates Philip all the way to Sydney. See how easy it is to find people on the internet though? Philip does more investigating of the site at home, but Michael, all the way in the States, is on top of him. He sees his IP, and thinking of how Philip is trying to snoop around gives him flashbacks to when he was a kid. His mom was a bedridden, obese lady who made her son feed her lots of food. Everything starts with childhood and mothers. We should talk more about how childhood influences fetishes. Philip tries convincing his superior that women are being fed to death over in Ohio, but feeding consensual adults doesn't seem to be a crime, even if they are being overfed. So his superior tells him he is off duty for the rest of the month. Philip really should clear his mind. He's not in the right place to be investigating these crimes. Both Michael and Philip have troubled sex lives due to their childhood experience. Michael removes Deirdre from the shack and into a bigger area. She doesn't appreciate it until he stares off into space, telling her that she can easily be replaced. He goes all the way to Ohio, where the website administrator for the feeder site was traced to. even though he is not authorized to investigate in any capacity. He is led to an old rundown building. In that location is a prayer book with a secret message referring to Michael. This gets really weird, but that building is an old church that belongs to Father Turner. Father Turner, in his fake American accent, reveals that Michael lived with him after his mother passed away. He was a troubled sexual deviant who would masturbate all over the house. Father Turner likes to forget about Michael. Next, Phillip uses the old social engineering trick on Michael's half-sister to figure out where Michael's address is. This scene is so awkward that I'm just gonna slide it out of the frame. Hopefully you'll forgive me for that. Phillip goes to the address where he runs into the feeder himself. Good idea following him right after he starts driving and even stopping right next to him before he even fully leaves the car. Phillip drives back to where Michael's home is and investigates until he finds that website. But Michael's official wife finds a stranger in her home and runs out to her husband. Phillip meets Michael, who is expecting that investigator from Sydney. I'll just let y'all listen to the conversation and let me know if this just feels weird to you.
Okay, you got me. Put the cuffs on now, Your Honor. I gave my women too many calories and made them fat.
You feed them to death. It's not a fucking game.
This scene has that energy, you know, the energy of two sides of the same coin kind of thing, realizing they are actually the same coin, you know, like a Joker and Batman kind of thing. And so Phillip runs away before the police get there. Michael comes to the apartment where Phillip is staying with Burger King in hand to explain more that he liberates his models to be beautiful, allows them to be beautiful despite societal pressures. Yeah, he says a lot of stuff that I think a lot of us can agree with, but clearly he's force feeding them. Turns out that coffee that he gave Phillip was drugged.
Consumption is evolution. Something's always eating something else. And the best eaters, the ones at the top of the food chain, are the most highly evolved.
Consumption is evolution. Those who consume survive, and those who don't get eaten. While he is passed out, Michael injects some lard into his body. Right before waking up, he has a nightmare of his childhood. His father was verbally abusive to him and his mother. His mother would eventually cheat on the father, something that scars Michael when he sees it. When he wakes up, he is in pain and has to pop that lard growth he has. And I won't show it because it is the grossest thing in the history of the world. Okay, for those that want to see the lard growth, let's watch it. If you don't want to see this, close your eyes right now until I say open them. Golly! I guess it wasn't that bad, but I'm imagining that piercing pain. You can open your eyes now. Eventually, Phillip brute forces the website and views a secret gambling screen where people can bet on when the models die. This is called a Deadpool, by the way. This is where Deadpool's name comes from. There is even a video of the previous model dying on camera from a heart attack. So, as you can imagine, Michael must be stopped. You know, it would have been nice if you could have figured this out back in Sydney to show to your superior, you know. But you're just a criminal now because you're breaking into people's house and getting illegal evidence. And you're not even American. These awkward scenes are popping like popcorn. Phillip goes to the church where Michael's wife is, kidnaps her, just to show her the website that Michael secretly owns. Not the normal part of the website, the death gambling part. So yeah, it's weird and criminal to see Phillip kidnap and drag the wife around, but she's brainwashed anyway. Everyone has lost it in this movie. Phillip eventually is descending on the property where Deirdre here is being fed that slop. It hurts to see this scene since I hate choking and anything to do with force feeding. While Phillip walks around trying to look like a secret agent, Deirdre might be dying right now. She's having trouble breathing. Phillip then finds the remains of the previous model, Lucy, all cut up and decomposing. Her remains are used in that slop, by the way. So Deirdre is being force-fed decomposing human. Phillip finally arrives to arrest Michael, who jumps out of the building. The two just get into harsh scraps around the property, including in front of Michael's bedridden father, who has been laying there for 20 years. Eventually, Phillip gets completely knocked out over the body of the previous girl who died. He wakes up next to Deirdre, who is dying from a heart attack. Phillip uses the opportunity to tell Deirdre that Michael doesn't really love her. He's just using her. He killed his mom when he was young. This scene right here is just the definition of disturbing. Just psychotic trip into crazy. Finally, the struggle continues and Michael is back at gunpoint. Deirdre loves Michael despite the fact that he's been lying to her and tried to kill her just then with a pillow. Michael tries to scare him, saying that this is being live streamed, but Phillip knows that that is a bluff since Michael would never show himself on camera. This is a very intense scene as Michael dissects Phillip's true motives, the reason why he is really here. Not because he wants to be some kind of justice hero, but because he, I don't know, doesn't know what the hell is wrong with himself. Unexpectedly, Phillip kills Deirdre by shooting her in the head. She was still on Michael's side, despite all he's lied to her about. Michael sits and watches what happened, and the screen goes black, and 2 more gunshots are heard. Some time passes, like maybe even months, maybe even a year. Phillip lives in the United States now, and has married that woman who is Michael's half-sister. Remember that woman he met and asked where Michael lives? They seem to be happy with each other. He seems to be really happy now himself. He takes a drive to some property. The familiar, creepy music starts playing, and we see Deirdre's decomposing body is still there. Phillip grabs a chair and sits outside, looking into the room, happily eating a sandwich. He's talking to someone though, asking if they would like a bite. A disheveled person sitting in a chair forbidden to leave. It's Michael who is starving. Phillip makes him ask for the food, saying, "Feed me, feed me," is the final words of the film. Wow, that was a crazy film. When I started this channel, this is the kind of film I had in mind. Weird, unique, psychotic. I always wondered about that fetish stuff. I get that our brains are weird, but I still wonder if certain experiences can create a certain kind of person. As long as people are being safe, I guess that's all I really care about. The most disturbed moment is easily the lard growth that Phillip had to pop. Yeah, feeding Deirdre a human slot was nasty, but not everybody is comfortable seeing growths pop, okay? Most enjoyable moment is the ending where Phillip and Michael have a psychological showdown that was too hectic for me to explain in the video. It was like self-reflection and self-destruction for both. But clearly Phillip has come out on top. I wonder how he became naturalized and accustomed to Ohio that quick. And that's it. I again want to thank y'all for waiting. I got 2 more films for you that reminded me of the feel of Feed. Check them out if you haven't. Also, check out those 2 videos I have uploaded on BitChute because of copyright, just in case you haven't already seen them or you want to see them again. But thanks for watching. Spooky out.